This is the story of how I earned 12,000 Canadian dollars credit card debt as an immigrant here in Canada. And this is how my debt-free journey series begins. It is so good to let that out from my system. Also shameful. Also, why am I sharing this with you in the net? This is crazy for me. But you know what? I am here for transparency. I am here for the reality of life. And I want to share that with you. You know, I've been beating the bush about my debt number, how much is it, why, what happened. But today I'm going to share that with you. And that's because of two things, okay? One is for you, one is for me. Why am I doing this for you? Guys, having debt is so stressful. Even though 12,000 is not that big enough for other people, it is freaking big to me. I'm a immigrant starting life here in Canada, so it's massive. So let me be the warning, let me be the sign, let this video the sign for you to get your financial shit together. Learn from my mistakes, from the steps that I'm gonna do now. And the next one is, this video is actually for me too, because I don't want to be ashamed that I had debt, because nothing good is going to happen if I just guilt trip myself, if I shame myself. Like, nothing good is gonna happen. I'm just stressful, I'm just all depressed and shit like that. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna tell it to you. Like, I have debt. I'm not proud of it, but I'm doing something about it. Having debt is not good in general. Like, it is very stressful to have one, but it's actually normal. A lot of Canadians have debt. According to Stats Canada, Canadians under 35 years old has an average of 104,000 total debt and 20,600 non-mortgage debt in 2023. Non-mortgage debt can be student loan, car loan, whatever, credit card loan. Instead of me shaming myself, hiding away, feeling like a fraud every time I talk about money, I want to tackle it. I want to share it with you, set goals, and following up on it. Because someone out there, maybe you might be going through this same shit as me. And you know, you might learn from this video, you might learn on my next videos, on my past videos, and you can go through this debt journey with me. If it's not you, share this video to someone you know. If you don't know me, my name is Kat, and I like oversharing, obviously, my life here in Canada, the good and the bad, personal finance, development. So if that's your vibe with me, subscribe to this channel, like this video. Thank you so much for being here. I started my debt-free journey with a painful realization that I had accumulated 12,000 in my credit card debt. But before we go through that story, I know you all are nosy Nelly. I wanted to say this. My debt is not anyone's fault. It's not inflation. It's not the rising prices of everything. It's kind of what it is, but it's not all because of that. It came down to not knowing how to say no, pushing past my own limits, being a people pleaser, not preparing, and have that huge self-doubt. Even when I knew I was really stretched out too thin, I still wing it. I still kept on doing it, thinking that I could handle everything. And it's not only financial thing, it's life. And I kept thinking that, you know what, I can do it, I can handle it, I can just wing it. But if I want a life that is soft life, a sustainable life that I could enjoy, I can't just wing it. I need to prepare, just like what I'm doing with my content. I need to plan ahead. It was a hard pill to take in, that is for sure. But knowing this and taking accountability, taking responsibility of myself is the first step. Lots of shame, lots of beating myself up, with the decisions that I've made, regrets, lots of judgments toward myself. Again, those thoughts, they're not helping. They are just really holding me back even more. I actually read this book called The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel when I started my debt journey. I recommend for you to read it. The first chapter of this book is already dropping bombs and really made me feel good about myself to tackle my financial challenges. I'm gonna read an excerpt of the chapter 1 that I really liked. So first, people do some crazy things with money, but no one is crazy. What seems crazy to you might make sense to me. What you do with your money might seem crazy to me, but I'm not you and you're not me. And then the other one, we all think about money based on our own unique experiences. The person who grew up in poverty sees money differently than the person who grew up surrounded by wealth. Shame has no place in this conversation because we're all just responding to the lives we've lived. This part of the book, it reminds us that our financial decisions are deeply rooted by our personal experiences, by our personal history. Many of us, myself included, blame ourselves from our financial mistakes, when in truth, life circumstances happen. You can blame yourselves, but again, life circumstances happen. It might be the job market, it might be your health, it might be family emergencies, it might be your immigration status, it might be your money trauma. Those circumstances, it plays a huge role. And me judging ourselves doesn't help. Once again, I kept on telling this because really this is where I have to start, by accepting and forgiving myself that this is the number I have in my credit card. It happened because of all of these circumstances. I should forgive myself. I wanted to reinforce to myself and to you that having debt is not a failure. It's not immoral. It's part of living. It's part of learning. You and me, we have to forgive each other for having this debt. We have to forgive each other for those past decisions that we did. Reflect on your money habits. Reflect on what triggers you, your goals, your plan, and take action. That's what we can only do now. Take action. Where it all begins. But before that, please don't forget to like this video because that will motivate me to be more transparent to you guys. If you thumbs down, that's fine. At least there's an engagement. Thank you so much. Okay, part 1 of where it all began. I was already here in Canada. I think I graduated already. I have a job already. And it started when I got a $4 per hour raise from that first job. At the time, I felt like, oh wow, you have a fat wallet. $4 increase per hour. That's freaking huge. Honestly, that's freaking huge. But not huge enough for the lifestyle that I upgraded myself. So I did what other people do. I upgraded my lifestyle. I've moved into this place. We bought new furniture because we don't have any furniture. I thought I could afford it. I actually could afford it. I could just barely afford it. That's the right term. But then things shifted. Of course, everything is temporary, so things shifted, right? My job before I got raised, I usually work like 40 hours per week to 90 hours per week. So in my head, in summertime, when I have this amount of money, I'll save it for the winter time so I have enough funds. Okay? That was my initial thought. But my job didn't give me the hours that it gave me from the last year. I was earning less. I had to pick up random shifts as a server, which is fine with me. I like serving, just to stay afloat. Then it felt like a cycle of work, pay, exhausted, work, pay, exhausted, work. It became a cycle. I was in this rat freaking race. Not even a race, because I'm not earning enough for the lifestyle that I upgraded myself with. And it's not even a lifestyle that, you know, a luxurious lifestyle. And because of that, I have to use my savings. So that was my emergency fund gone. Big mistake. Emergency fund, guys, is a savings. This fund, you're gonna use it when there's an emergency, like for example, health-wise, or you need to go back home, or shit, I don't have a job tomorrow. So that's what you're gonna use with your emergency fund. But I used it to pay for furniture. So that was the big mistake. The winter came. My work at that time is very seasonal. So what happened if it's a very seasonal job? Winter time, I barely have hours for work. About 10 hours per week of work, and that's, girl, from 40 hours per week to 10 hours per week. So I have to take more shift for the serving job. But my head, my brain is so limited that I stuck myself into this a restaurant that doesn't really earn a lot, doesn't have a lot of tips. So I really just put myself there because this is what I know, this is what I think I could handle. So basically, I'm just earning just enough and sometimes not even enough. It comes to a point that I have to choose which one should I pay first in a month. Is it my utility bill or my phone bill? Which is important this month? So that's when I hit a wall. Like, I started to feel more ashamed of myself. I started to feel more self-doubt of my capacity of work. Self-doubt of how I earn money. Like, I already kind of accepted that this is how it is going to be. This is the only money that I'm gonna earn every month. This is it. This is just it for me. I hope a unicorn come down from the heaven and just save me from this shit that I've made on myself. But nobody's gonna come. And even if someone did, I knew that I'm just gonna go in debt again. Because the problem wasn't really about just the money. It is one of the problems, but it was also my mindset. You know, I didn't believe I was good enough to talk to clients. I didn't believe that I'm good enough with my English skills, not fluent enough to talk to these white Canadian clients. That's a big impact in my confidence, because that's me. I like to talk to people, and then now I'm scared to talk to people. Now I don't have the capacity to speak English to communicate to the people I want to talk with. It was, I don't know what's happening to me at that time. I don't even know if people understand what's happening to me at that time. I don't even know if I shared that with anyone. I think this is the first time that I shared this feelings, emotion to anyone. This is very wild for me to say these things, guys. Having that self-doubt, it really affects on how I earn, how I see or perceive myself, and how other people perceives me. Like, people may not want to hire me because of my non-existent self-confidence. At one point in my life, in the past, I've dreamed of, and I know that I could be a better person than that. I could help more people with the skills that I have, whatever that is. And I don't know where that was. I just know that I was before, but now not anymore. So, you know, I started going in YouTube channel. I watched that journey of other people, and it was really helpful to see that, you know what, I'm not the only one who's going through this, and the amount that I have is not as wild as other people who have 200,000 in debt and everything like that just for shopping, for consumer debt. I'm not actually that bad, so it made me feel a little bit better. And I watch people how they budget their money. I watch people how they go rail off with their budget, and you know what, they're fine with it. And I watch people who are earning hundreds and hundreds of dollars. I just saw that, okay, it is possible for me to get out from this pit hole. I should do something about it. And you know what? I have a partner who was really motivated person as well, who was there to tough love with me. You know, I really need that because I'm not good with disciplining myself. When I told him that there's that money, and he's like, why didn't you tell me? I could have paid for it. Well, now I couldn't because he's also a seasonal worker. So we're in that tough spot every winter. You know, he is also telling me, okay, now this, you have to do this, you have to think about this. So I'm really fortunate enough that I have someone with me who is also who is disciplined and motivated enough to push me in this debt-free journey. That was 2022. Okay, at that point I don't have 12,000 in debt yet. Let's say 5,000-6,000 in debt, and I'm already stressing out about it. That was 2022 when we moved in together. Early 2023 when I like dive into these YouTube channels, because you know I was both motivated and frustrated. I want to learn more. I just need to learn more. How can I earn more money? How can I pay off this debt? What systems are out there to help me? I talk to people I trust, and I have this friend of mine. I see her as someone who is a mentor. She mentions about this financial industry. You know, you can learn a lot about finances, earn from this industry as well. So I was like, okay, let's try it out. So I started investing on myself. I got licensed as financial professional here in Canada. It was scary going through this because first, I am in debt. I don't know anything about financial services. I don't know anything in the finance industry in Canada. But again, you can learn things. That's the only what I'm holding on. I can learn things if I put myself into it, my mind into it. So, you know, I was taking courses. I was taking all these provincial exams. I was taking these provincial exams. Girl, I did like 8 exams or tests and I did good. I was surprised. I did good. Investing on myself was scary as well because I have to spend on myself. In my head, should I spend it to myself or should I just pay my credit card debt? What is the biggest ROI? So that's where I was really thinking about it. But the best ROI is to really invest to yourself and make that investment work for you. Now I know this financial industry. I am licensed. I am legal to give my service to others. So now I have clients. Now I'm earning hundreds to $100 every month more than what I usually earn. So ROI, yeah, sure, I spend for courses. I spend for provincial exams. But I also earn money. I also earn knowledge. I also earn these people who can help me to motivate me to do this business with me. So that was 2023. Some months I earned $300. Some months I earned $100. Some months I earned $0. It depends. But I was learning, and even if I wasn't the most confident, the most intelligent one in the room, I realized that I was still steps ahead of my past self. And some people are also in that situation of my past self that I could help them. I could lend my knowledge to them. And that's where I really hold on to continue this services or this business that I started. Not that I could only help people, I could also earn for myself, meaning I could pay off my debt. So it's a cycle, you know. It's so important to invest on yourself. Another shit happened. This is basically the biggest reason why, okay? Another setback happened is when I injured myself. I had to wear an air cast. I couldn't walk. I couldn't work. I had to quit my serving job. That's about later of 2023. Again, I was without income. I used up my savings. I used my credit card to pay for some of my bills, for my injury, for my daily bills. I am negative, and then I ended up having 12,000 in debt in 2023. It's funny how mid of June I started earning. I started another side hustle to increase my income, and just late of 2023 as well, I injured myself. Life really humbles you, you know? And because I couldn't really work in the events field, because, well, you have to walk when you're an event coordinator, and you have to walk when you are a server. So I have to resign as a server. I have to lessen my hours as an event coordinator because I just can't do it. A good thing I started investing myself before that shit happened. I leaned on commissions, and thankfully I have few clients at that time, and I was able to pay my rent because of those commissions. That experience reminded me to, you know, when you show up for yourself, you show up for other people. And when other people see your genuine intention, they will trust you with how genuine you are with what you do. You know, universe was just gonna show up for you too and do things, whatever they can do to provide. But I was yet again frustrated, super, because I still don't have enough funds. I am doing all of these things, but I still couldn't barely pay my bills. My credit card is at its limit, and it's still growing because of the interest. I have so much shame, but I also don't want to change anything because my current job at the wedding, I actually love working in weddings. This was my childhood dream, and I am doing it. I'm like, I can't leave this. What should I do? I was in that limbo. And I don't even know why I stayed in that limbo, now that I'm thinking about it. I pushed through. I even set up an event when I have my air cast on. I remember to September 2023, I was watching a reading for Taurus for the year of 2024. I'm a Taurus. Hey, the guy said, I have to make a hard decision on the last part of first quarter of 2024. I don't really remember usually these kinds of reading that I watch in YouTube, but that one really resonated with me. That one really I hold into, and it gives me hope, motivation to look for that thing. What am I gonna decide on? Why is it gonna be hard for me to decide on? That delulunes, I tried to kind of manifested it by thinking of it and by taking action of it. In the last quarter of 2023, I started looking for other job because I can't really serve anymore, right? Because my foot was really hurting. I talked to my friends, told them that, hey, I'm looking for a part-time job, and I landed a part-time job. Contract for 6 months, part-time job, starting December of 2024. It was perfect. It was a perfect part-time job because I could still do the wedding and events job. That's only giving me about 10 to 15 hours of work per week. And then I have this part-time job that is giving me 24 hours a week. And it's also more than the minimum wage. So I was like, huh, this is what I need. I was doing 2 jobs and doing that financial services. And it's okay. I was at that time where I just need to work. Same thing with my partner. We just need to work. We just need to recuperate all of the expenses that we did in the past few months, years, and still try to navigate the life that we need or we want to. So now that I got that temporary part-time job at the college, now I just need to do pabibo. I have to really show my work ethics, do good, talk to my workmates, making sure that they know me, making sure that they know my work. And I am really gaining this self-confidence. I'm really understanding the structure of the colleges and like learning people in my team, learning about them, learning from them. And the goal is to be able to jump into a long-term full-time job. So that was my goal. That's why I have to put myself out there. Hey, this is me, remember me. That's what I did when I was a part-time job. In early 2024, I asked them, after 3 big job fairs that we did, I asked them, I want to have a full-time job in the college working with this department. I really like them. I hope that if there's any job opportunity that comes in, please let me know. I would love to apply for it. I told my managers, I told my associate director about it. I have to advocate for myself, right? When I asked about it, they said that there's no available jobs yet, but they will let me know. And that's a good sign. At this point, you know, I'm doing those 2 jobs. I'm earning $100, $300, $200 here and there from my financial services. I felt more positive and motivated, even though sometimes I work 10 hours, 14 hours a day. Because I know if I stay comfortable in a place where I'm not really that happy, nothing's going to happen. Because if I ended this part-time job, I'm just gonna go back. By the end of the first quarter of 2024, good news came. An opportunity for a full-time job contract in the college came up. I applied for it and they offered me the job. And then I remembered, oh my gosh, this is exactly what the reading told me, that by the end of the first quarter of 2024, I'm gonna make a hard decision. But at this point, it wasn't a hard decision for me anymore. It is a no-brainer decision for me because I worked towards it. And although I love or I used to work in the wedding industry, although it is my childhood dream, I was already 27 at that time. I'm not a child anymore, unfortunately. I need to prioritize what I need that time and for my future. I think it's enough for my childhood. I think I already give her the satisfaction that I've done it already. Now I need to prioritize myself. So it wasn't really hard decision for me. It was hard when I have to tell it to my boss, like, this is a no-brainer, this is good for my career, this is good for my personal development, my career development, so I'll just go for it. I did it, and I started this job last year of late June. Since then, I am able to pay off my bills, that in my utility bill paid off, that in my phone bill paid off. I saved up about 1.5 of emergency funds. Again, I'm able to help my partner with our home expenses, and I was even able to pay our rent, full rent, in 1 month this winter. So that was amazing. I thought I'm never gonna be going into that point of my life, but the debt-free journey is not done yet. I'm still, paying off this credit card debt, and I am already less than half my credit card debt since when I started this journey. It feels like I could breathe more. I don't feel that heavy burden every time I wake up. For the first time in a long time, I feel like I am moving forward once again. And if you want to follow along with this debt-free journey, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell below, because I always post monthly review of my finances, and I think you'll be interested to see that. Debt doesn't define who you are. If you're in debt or you're kind of struggling with your finances, it's just one part of your story, not the whole thing. Paying debt off is something that takes time, depending on how much you want to pay it fast or how sustainable you want. I mean, in my opinion, go towards the being sustainable. It's like, you know, paying debt is like dieting. When you starve yourself for a month and you see that you lost 10 pounds, probably next month you're gonna eat more. Find that fine line that you can be sustainable on paying your debt. It can be exhausting, really, to be so aggressive on paying debt. You can't see the reward or something, like you can't even eat outside. I did that for the first month and it's not even worth it. Maybe this month you pay twice the minimum of your credit card debt, and then next month you pay 5 times of your minimum for your credit card debt, and then maybe next month 1.5 times how much is your minimum for your credit card debt. Find that fine line to be sustainable in paying your debt. And of course, paying off this debt, it's not just about you're paying it off, but also the discipline that you're building, right? The discipline to always pay off the bills that you have, and eventually, if that's done, you build that discipline to put away this certain amount of money. Instead of paying your debt off, maybe you can put it set aside for your investment, for your insurance. That discipline that you're building is so much more. And also not just that, the knowledge that you learn how to navigate finances here in Canada. It's learning how to be an advocate of yourself. It's a form of self-care, you know? If you're trying to figure out life, just like when I was 24, 25 years old, know this, you are not alone. Be kind to yourself, learn to forgive yourself, take action, even if it's messy, take action. Even if you're scared, take action, especially actually when you're scared. Unfortunately, there's no unicorn that's gonna come up from the air and go to you and help you, because it's just gonna be you, girl. You're just gonna help yourself. People are gonna help around, but it's gonna be just you who are gonna get you out from that pit hole. This is my confession of my debt, but it's also my comeback. On my next vlog, I am going to share with you 5 actionable steps, lessons that not only reflect what I learned, but also offer something that you can take away and apply immediately in your life. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, like this video, follow along with my monthly finance review series to keep myself accountable and you accountable. In your experience, what's one big financial lesson that you've learned in your life? Comment it in the comment section below and let's share experience. Let's learn from each other. Let's grow. Thank you for watching this video. Have a good day.